The shock is nothing compared to what I'm really going through. And now I know for a fact it's really about to get worse. I might have to go to jail.
What? No way. What? Karlie. Ain't no way.
Atlanta has never seen a storm like this. Forget petty fights and stage drama. What just leaked is shaking love and hip-hop Atlanta to its core. Karlie Redd, the queen of secrets and chaos, has just dropped a confession so shocking that even Spice, the woman who's built her entire brand on resilience and shade, was left trembling, clutching her chest like she'd seen a ghost. On camera, in whispers so raw they sound more like courtroom testimony than reality TV gossip. Karlie muttered the words no one expected to hear, "I might have to go to jail." And suddenly, the entire VH1 empire went silent. This wasn't just about messy relationships or broken friendships. This was about betrayal, federal investigations, money trails, and secrets that could rip apart reputations forever. Social media is already calling it Love and Hip Hop, True Crime Edition. Leaked audio clips are circulating online. Fans are dissecting cryptic Instagram posts, and insiders are whispering that what Karlie revealed to Spice over that lunch wasn't just scandal. It was the opening act to the biggest downfall in franchise history. Spice's eyes widened in disbelief, her voice cracking as she demanded, "Karlie, what did you do?" And the answer twisted in layers of heartbreak. IVF struggles and alleged financial fraud. It's darker than anyone could have imagined. Brace yourselves. This is not just gossip, it's survival. And tonight, we're pulling back every curtain, exposing every leak, and diving into the legal firestorm that has Spice shaken to her core. When Karlie Redd leaned across that table, clutching her hands, like she was holding the last piece of her sanity, nobody in that restaurant could have predicted the storm that was about to rip through Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Spice, usually the loudest and fiercest in the room, was left frozen in shock. Karlie's voice cracked, trembling like the walls of her carefully built empire were collapsing in real time. And then came the line that would set the internet ablaze, "I might have to go to jail." Spice blinked, stunned, like she'd just been hit with ice water. Fans swear the camera angle shook, like even the production crew wasn't ready for that confession. This wasn't your typical he said, she said love and hip-hop drama. This wasn't a wig fight in the middle of a nightclub or some drunken slander at a launch party. This was deeper, darker, and 10 times more dangerous. It was the type of scandal that no one could spin into a cute storyline. Within minutes of the episode airing, Twitter threads exploded. Viewers clipped Karlie's trembling lips, slowed down the audio, and demanded answers. Jail. One fan typed in all caps, racking up 15,000 likes in an hour. Not Karlie trading her red bottoms for orange jumpsuits. Another user added, "This ain't love and hip hop, this love and handcuffs." And just like that, the hashtag Karlie locked trended across Atlanta before the credits even rolled. But what shook Spice wasn't just the word jail. It was the way Karlie said it, calm, almost casual, like she'd already rehearsed the line in her head 100 times, like she knew this moment was coming. And here's where the leaks started pouring in. Bloggers claimed VH1 producers had been hinting at Karlie's secret storyline for months. Anonymous insiders whispered that they'd been instructed not to edit out Karlie's darkest confessions because the audience needed the truth. If that's true, the network just gambled the entire season on one woman's downfall. And then came the first alleged leak, a blurry screenshot of financial documents posted by an anonymous Instagram account with only 237 followers. But somehow gaining traction overnight? The documents were riddled with black bars, redactions, and watermarks. But one line stood out. Karlie's name listed as secondary guarantor on a shady property transfer. The caption read, "Sis didn't know she was signing her freedom away." Within an hour, gossip sites had reposted it. Fans were dissecting fonts. And self-proclaimed fraud experts on TikTok were breaking it down like it was the Zapruder film. Meanwhile, Spice tried to maintain composure. On camera, she leaned back, shaking her head, her bright blue wig bouncing with disbelief. "Karlie," she said softly, "this ain't no joke. You can't play with things like this." But Karlie's eyes were already glassy, her mascara running down her cheeks. "I'm not playing," she whispered. "I really might lose everything." Backstage sources claim Spice went into protective mode. One crew member allegedly leaked that she demanded production cut the cameras, that she didn't want Karlie's tears to be turned into memes. But the producers kept rolling. They always keep rolling. And as Karlie sobbed, a second bombshell dropped. She wasn't just in legal trouble, she was also heartbroken. That's when the IVF confession came spilling out. "I thought we were building a family," Karlie choked, her voice quivering. "I went through everything, the treatments, the hormones, the pain, and while I was doing that, he was setting me up." Spice's hand flew to her mouth, gasping audibly. Fans swear they saw her eyes glaze with tears. This wasn't Karlie being messy for the cameras. This was Karlie unraveling layer by layer until she was raw, vulnerable, and exposed. And the internet ate it up. Clips of Karlie crying went viral. Set to dramatic R&B ballads, captions screaming, "Protect Karlie." Read, "And she deserves better." But not everyone bought the sob story. Detractors accused her of crocodile tears, of flipping her legal nightmare into a storyline for sympathy. One Twitter user posted, "Karlie been faking engagement rings for 10 years, now she faking indictments. Next." The backlash was swift, cruel, and merciless, and just as the fan war escalated, a third leak dropped in. This one was nuclear. A muffled voice note surfaced on a shady blog, allegedly between Karlie and an unknown man. The audio was messy, recorded like it was under a blanket, but you could hear Karlie's voice, sharp and panicked. "You told me it was clean. You said nothing would trace back to me." The man's voice, distorted, shot back. "Calm down, you signed it. It's too late." The internet broke. Was it real? Was it fabricated? No one cared. The narrative was already set. Karlie wasn't just a victim. She was complicit. And Spice, sitting across from her, seemed to realize that in real time. "Oh, Karlie," she whispered, "this ain't just heartbreak. This is criminal." At that moment, the lunch table scene transformed from a quiet confessional to a courtroom preview. Fans declared it the scariest love and hip-hop scene ever. Meme accounts churned out content at lightning speed. Karlie photoshopped behind bars, Spice as her attorney, Mona Scott as the federal judge. It was chaos. VH1 was loving every second of it. But here's the kicker. While fans were obsessing over the leaked audio, another insider leak emerged. Allegedly, one of Karlie's own castmates had been feeding information to bloggers. And word on the street is that it wasn't a minor player, it was someone in her inner circle, a woman she trusted. Betrayal on betrayal. Spice, Rashida, Yandy. Nobody knew, but the speculation spread like wildfire. By the end of the episode, Karlie's teary-eyed face was already cemented as the new face of scandal. And the cliffhanger VH1 left us with a chilling line from Karlie, staring dead into the camera, whispering, "If I go down, I'm not going alone." The screen cut to black. Social media exploded. Fans screamed. Insiders panicked. And everyone knew this was just the beginning of the mess. The fallout from Karlie's tearful confession didn't just linger. It detonated like a bomb across Atlanta. By sunrise the next morning, entire timelines were drowning in hashtags. Hashtag for Karlie and hashtag lock her up were trending simultaneously, proof of how deeply divided the public had become. But what really kept the fire blazing weren't the memes or the think pieces. It was the leaks. The first wave came from blogs that live and die by VH1 mess. One site posted what they claimed were exclusive court-adjacent documents, leases tied to a mysterious condo in Buckhead, allegedly with Karlie's name scribbled across the signature line. At first glance, the lease looked legitimate until fans zoomed in and noticed the landlord's name was typed in Comic Sans. Comic Sans. The internet howled. One fan tweeted, "If you scamming with Comic Sans, you deserve jail time." Others pointed out that the property managers listed 3 different names across 3 separate screenshots, all connected to the same Gmail account with a 0 instead of an O. The sloppiness turned the scandal into a circus, but behind the laughs was something darker. Karlie's name once again tied to fraudulent paperwork. Then came the shell companies. What started as whispers about Spicy Investments LLC snowballed into a mess of overlapping corporations with names like Red Flag Holdings, Blue Lace Ventures, and Wellness Retreat Group. One supposed accountant whistleblower leaked a QuickBooks file that allegedly showed Karlie's name popping up in consulting fees. Fees that coincidentally matched the dates of her lavish shopping hauls. One entry allegedly read, "Strategy meeting materials $8,500 the same day." Karlie posted a photo in a brand new Birkin. Another entry was marked "Team Building Retreat, $12,000. Hours later, she was spotted in Miami on a rented DS yacht with champagne in hand. The math was mathing, just not in Karlie's favor. And then, as if the universe wanted to make things worse, a voice note surfaced. Grainy, muffled, but instantly viral. A woman, allegedly Karlie, could be heard hissing into the phone. "I can't talk here. Just meet me in the parking lot." The one without cameras? Parking lots without cameras? That's the unofficial headquarters of bad decisions. Fans went feral. Was this Karlie organizing a secret drop-off? Was she negotiating her freedom? No one knew. But the mystery was enough to make hashtag KARLIE parking lot trend worldwide. Spice, meanwhile, tried to hold her ground. She went live for 7 minutes, her tone more serious than anyone had ever seen. "I don't discuss legal matters online," she said firmly, her sequined wig glistening under the ring light. "But I'm praying for my sister Karlie. I hope she finds peace." The fans weren't satisfied. "What about the lease, Spice?" The comments screamed. "What about the parking lot?" For once, Spice couldn't shade her way out of the storm, back at VH1 headquarters. Producers were allegedly in full panic mode. One insider claimed executives debated editing the entire storyline out of the season, fearing legal backlash. The ratings spoke louder than the lawyers. The episode had doubled its viewership overnight. "This is bigger than Kirk's baby scandal," one producer allegedly said. "We can't cut this, it's gold." And so the cameras stayed rolling. But then came the IVF mystery. Fans who had followed Karlie's fertility journey were quick to point out inconsistencies. Screenshots of clinic confirmations circulated online, some stamped with dates that didn't match up. One document listed a clinic hold, but the wording was suspiciously vague. Was it a deposit? A consultation? A receipt for something else entirely? A nurse's cousin's friend allegedly told a blog that those aren't our forms. Another fan pointed out that Karlie and her partner hadn't been spotted together during the alleged treatment dates. Suddenly, her emotional confession about IVF didn't just seem tragic. It seemed calculated, and the internet did what it always does. It chose sides. Team Karlie stans insisted she was a victim of love and betrayal, dragged into a mess by a man who used her as collateral. He tweeted things like, "She's been through too much. Protect her at all costs." Team Reality wasn't buying it. They flooded the comments with receipts, memes, and shade. "If you sign shady papers, you shady too," one viral post read. Another compared Karlie to a VH1 version of Anna Delvey. The divide wasn't just online. It was in the cast itself. Word spread that Rashida and Yandi were quietly distancing themselves, allegedly asking producers to cut their names out of any storyline tied to Karlie's legal mess. A leaked text message, supposedly between cast members, showed someone saying, "I love her, but I'm not going down with her. They can film without me if it's about this." Who sent it? Fans speculated wildly. Some swore it was Rashida, others pointed at Sierra, and a few even accused Spice of secretly playing both sides. The betrayal was palpable, and Karlie's isolation grew by the day. Then came the receipts about lavish spending. One steakhouse bill circulated online, showing a $1,200 tab with client dinner scribbled in Sharpie across the top. Fans mocked it mercilessly. Client equals Karlie plus her appetite, one comment joked. Another viral meme showed Karlie's face photoshopped onto a receipt with the caption, "Deductible Queen." But just when everyone thought they had the scandal figured out, a new layer unraveled. An anonymous compliance officer appeared in an obscure forum, claiming a report had been filed about suspicious financial transfers. They didn't name Karlie directly, but fans connected the dots instantly. The timing was too perfect. That same day, a blogger claimed they received a cease and desist letter connected to the case. And if there's one thing the internet loves more than a leak, it's the proof that someone's trying to hide it. The cease and desist became oxygen, fueling speculation that Karlie's mess wasn't just reality TV. It was reality. And then there was the calendar screenshot. Fans caught it during a blink and dull Instagram story, a notification labeled "Court Thing," private, not a hearing, not a meeting. Court Thing. It was sloppy, messy, and terrifyingly real. One fan tweeted, "Sis really put her indictment on Google Calendar." The post went viral, cementing the narrative that Karlie wasn't just in trouble, she was spiraling. At this point, Spice had gone quiet, too quiet. Fans begged her to spill, to go live again, to shade Karlie into oblivion. But Spice refused. According to one insider, she told a friend, "I don't want no federal smoke on me. I'm not about to be on the wrong side of history." And yet, her silence only made things worse. Without her commentary, the scandal spun out of control. Fans began to suspect even Spice was hiding something. By the end of that week, it wasn't just about Karlie's documents, leases, or IVF confessions. It was about who knew what and who was willing to betray her to save themselves. The blogs hinted at cast members cooperating with sources. Anonymous accounts promised that the next leak would name names. And in the midst of all this chaos, Karlie herself posted a cryptic Instagram story. "If I go down, I'm not going alone." The caption was accompanied by a photo of a wine glass tipped over, red liquid spilling across a marble table like blood. Fans screamed. Was it symbolism? A warning? A confession? Whatever it was enough to turn the firestorm into a full-on inferno. And as the dust settled that night, a new rumor started swirling. Allegedly, a podcast was being prepared, a tell-all titled Red Flags, promising to expose the lies behind the lies. The first episode. The checks were never real. Fans speculated it was being produced by a former cast member, one who had plenty of axes to grind. For Karlie, the storm wasn't ending, it was escalating. And the next act promised to be darker than anything Love and Hip Hop had ever dared. To show the air around Karlie Redd wasn't just tense anymore, it was suffocating. Every move she made, every post she uploaded, every whisper behind the scenes was being dissected like evidence in a trial. The storyline had ballooned past love and hip-hop drama and entered something darker, a survival game. And as the legal whispers grew louder, the betrayals started cutting deeper. Insiders claimed the cast group chat had exploded after Karlie's cryptic "I'm not going down alone" post. Screenshots leaked of frantic messages, "Delete that. Right now, Karlie," one castmate allegedly begged. Another wrote, "Girl, you about to sink us all." Fans speculated wildly over who sent what, analyzing typing styles like detectives. Some swore it was Rashida panicking. Others claimed Yandi was the one sounding alarms. Either way, the damage was done. Karlie wasn't just facing the law, she was facing isolation from the very circle she had leaned on for years. And then came the nuclear rumor, sealed indictment. An anonymous blogger known only as Peach Snatcher 35 dropped a redacted screenshot. That supposedly showed Karlie's name in a federal database. The words "financial fraud pending" were highlighted in neon yellow. Nobody could verify it, but nobody cared. The internet ate it alive. Karlie about to trade her Birkins for prison slides. One viral tweet mocked. Another said, "Love and Hip Hop finna film in county jail, season 14 sponsored by Commissary." The memes were brutal, but the whispers behind them were deadly. Serious Spice, who had once promised to stand by Karlie through anything, allegedly pulled back completely. A source close to production claimed she told producers, "I can't be next to her when the feds show up." And the tension came to a head during a private dinner scene that hasn't even aired yet. But already leaked footage of the blow-up has circulated on TikTok. The grainy clip shows Karlie screaming at Spice, "You think you better than me? You think they won't come for you too?" Spicesvoice.com, but cold shot back, "I didn't sign nothing. You did?" The clip cut off there, but the internet replayed those seconds millions of times. But the betrayals didn't end with Spice. Another insider leak claimed Karlie had dirt, real dirt, on at least 3 cast members and 1 producer. She allegedly began compiling files, voice notes, and screenshots in a folder ominously titled Insurance. The rumor: she was planning to drop them if she got cut from the show or indicted. Fans began speculating who would be exposed. Rashida's rumored side business deals, Sierra's off-camera feuds, even Mona Scott's alleged behind-the-scenes manipulations. The threat was clear. If Karlie was going down, she was taking everyone with her. And then Karlie herself fanned the flames. She posted a photo of herself in all black, captioned, "Funerals aren't just for the dead. They're for reputations too." The comments section went nuclear. Some fans begged her to stop. Others fueled the fire, screaming, "Expose them." But one comment stood out. A blue check account belonging to a former castmate simply wrote, "Do it. Tell the truth." That single comment ignited an entirely new round of speculation. Was Karlie bluffing? Or was she sitting on a vault that could burn the entire franchise to ashes? Meanwhile, the financial leaks escalated. Alleged bank statements appeared online, showing 6-figure withdrawals under consulting fees, cash wires to shell accounts, and even exotic car rentals coded as business equipment. One line item: read client appreciation dinner, $15,000. Coinciding with Karlie's Instagram story of a lobster tower and Dom Perignon. The receipts were too messy to ignore, and fans declared her guilty in the court of public opinion. "She's not messy, she's criminal," one thread declared, racking up thousands of retweets. But just as it seemed Karlie's empire was collapsing, she pulled her own power move. During a confessional taping, allegedly filmed in secret hours after the dinner fight with Spice, Karlie looked straight into the camera and said, "You all want the truth? Fine, I'll give you names. I'll give you names. I'll give you receipts. Because I'm not the only one with blood on my hands." Production staff whispered that the room went dead silent. The raw tape hasn't aired yet, but word of its existence sent shockwaves across the cast. Suddenly, it wasn't just Karlie against the law. It was Karlie against everyone. The cast began scrambling. Rashida allegedly held an emergency PR meeting. Sierra deleted dozens of old Instagram posts. Spice doubled down on silence, refusing to even comment. And Mona Scott. Rumor has it she called a closed-door meeting with VH1. Lawyers to discuss damage control if Karlie's threats became reality. The industry reacted too. Club promoters pulled back on bookings. Brand deals allegedly froze. One cosmetics company quietly scrubbed Karlie's name from a campaign she'd been set to front. The fallout wasn't just about gossip anymore, it was about survival. And then, as if things couldn't get darker, a podcast trailer dropped. Red Flags, the alleged tell-all promised to expose the lies behind the lies. The first episode was teased with a chilling line. The checks were never real. The life was never hers. The voice was distorted, but fans swore it was a former castmate. The trailer ended with static, a blurred photo of Karlie, and the words, "Coming soon." By the end of that week, the storm had turned into a tornado. Karlie wasn't just at risk of losing her freedom, she was on the edge of losing everything. Her friends, her career, her money, her reputation. And as fans braced for the next episode, a final leaked clip surfaced. The scene. Karlie in her home packing suitcases while speaking into her phone. Her voice cracked as she said, "They think I'm scared. They think I won't talk." But when the truth comes out, none of them will survive. The screen cut off there, but that single sentence was enough to set the internet on fire. Whose secrets is Karlie holding? What's in the insurance folder? Is the indictment real or just smoke? And will Love and Hip Hop Atlanta ever recover if she pulls the trigger and exposes everyone? Because one thing is certain, Karlie isn't just fighting for her freedom. Anymore, she's fighting for her legacy. And in this game, survival means destruction. Somebody's going down, but nobody knows who it will be. And that's where we're left. On the edge of a cliffhanger so dangerous it feels less like television and more like history being written in real time. And now, with Karlie standing. On the edge of total destruction, one truth is undeniable. This storm is only getting started. We've seen the tears, the leaked documents, the betrayals, and the cryptic threats. But the biggest bombshells haven't even dropped yet. The whispers about sealed indictments, the mysterious insurance folder, the podcast that promises to expose everything. These aren't just rumors. These are ticking time bombs waiting to explode in front of the entire world. So ask yourself, can you really afford to miss what happens next? Because when Karlie finally names names, when those secret files hit the light, and when the cast starts turning on each other in desperation, it won't just be another storyline. It will be the moment that defines love and hip-hop history forever. And here's the thing, if you're not locked in with us, you'll be left behind. You'll wake up to chaos on your timeline. You'll see the clips flying everywhere. You'll realize you missed the uncut truth when it mattered most. Don't let that happen. Right now, before the next leak drops, smash that like button. Drop your thoughts in the comments and hit subscribe with notifications on. Because the next twist, the next betrayal, the next explosion of secrets, it could drop at any second. Stay with us. Stay ready. Because the fire Karlie just lit isn't going out, it's about to burn the entire franchise down. And you don't want to be the one who missed it.